everyone, today I'll be doing a solo Grandmaster run Insight Terminus with Warlock. For my subclass, I'll be using Dawnblade well. Here are the mods and the fragments I'll be using in this video. For my kinetic, I'll be using the Stasis Scout Rifle with shoot to loot for the exotic Graviton Lance and a Void Machine Gun. For my helmet, I'll be using double machine gun ammo finder with 5 disciplined, and an elemental mod to make wells with grenades. For my gauntlets, my mistake, it's supposed to be the unstoppable scout rifle with the anti-barrier pulse rifle, well of life, and 10 of the resilience. For the chest plate, it will be the Starfire exotic with the double solar void resilience with seeking wells. For the legs, I'll be using fire resilience, machine gun scavenger, pulse rifle holster, and bountiful wells or beautiful wells. Next, I'll be using bomber, solar fulmination, and an artifact mod to make fireworks. I decided to go for Warlock. You know, Warlock needs some love. And I will abuse the power of the Sparrow to skip the entire room of the 3 barrier champions. When doing this method, and yes, I did it poorly because my Sparrow was hard to control. When doing this method, you will skip 3 champions but still get platinum. For this one, I decided to just go for it, and I should definitely get off from the Sparrow since it's all smoke and fire. And finally we can actually go to the Nightfall, and there will be champions. Well, 1 barrier champion and a couple Cabals and the Hobgoblins and the Scions. So I decided to mess around with the exotic, the Graviton Lance. It's very unique. I do like the sound effect of the weapon, and I thought it'd be nice to use it for this run. And yes, the machine gun I have isn't the best. One of the best machine guns is the raid weapon, but I don't have it, so I decided to use the rapid fire frame machine gun, and it's okay. It's not the best. I would prefer to use Hammerhead, but it got sunset. Yeah, remember sunset weapons? Yeah, that god roll Hammerhead, it's gone. And I would use it for this Nightfall, but I can't. So I had to use this other weapon that it's not that good, but it has auto-loading holster, so that's good enough for me. And I am going to be dealing with this barrier champion before he walks to his little hiding spot from the left side. Once I do take him down, and of course I did took down a sniper, I am going to get the hell out of here. I'm gonna skip all these ads. There's no champions. I'm gonna do my beautiful Warlock dash and take down the Frantics up ahead with the fusion grenades, and then just quickly get into the cave so all these Cabals will throw grenades and chase me. Yeah, it's so fun, isn't it? Now you'll see Kargen, right? And he'll disappear. Be aware that he can stomp you, so I was being a little reckless there. Now, back in the day, you used to skip 2 unstoppable champions. For this season, you can, fortunately. I was trying to do it, but it's just not gonna work. I did try the Stasis Warlock to skip the champions. It still didn't work, so you have to face these unstoppable champions no matter what. And yes, I am making fireworks. If you guys notice, yes, I am not using the classy mod, classy restoration in this video. I wanted to use it, but I thought making fireworks would be more fun for this run. And plus, it's nice to see all these champions explode from the solar burn and make fireworks. If you guys also noticed, I am using shoot to loot. Of course, they're gonna be nerfing that. Might as well take advantage of it. And the shoot to loot I have is the Stasis Scout Rifle. I was testing it for fun. You can actually get the Stasis Scout Rifle from Prime Engrams and the Umbrella Engrams from Worldy Engrams from the recent vendor for this season. Actually, I got the Stasis Scout Rifle, I would say, last season. I don't 100% remember, but I know I got it right away and I just got shoot to loot. I got a little lucky, to be honest. So for this area, I decided to use well and then abuse the fusion grenades. Now, what I should have done over here is just use a scout, so every time I shoot these ads, I'll just regain my grenade over and over again. But I didn't. I was just mainly focusing on the barrier champion, but then he just ran away. Great. He's running away from me. But if he does pull back, it's all good. You can just go and take down the barrier champion from this specific spot. Now, it is the machine gun barrier champion, so be aware that he can melt you. Once you stagger him, just abuse and use the heavy as much as you can. If not, you could just take your sweet time, taking advantage with the beautiful Graviton Lance pulse rifle. And when its health is low, you can use your finisher or you can just spam the heavy. Once I took down the mini boss champion, I went on my way to go and shoot Kargen a bit and then just pull back. Now I don't have my well yet, but I am gonna try my best to throw grenades to clear up a couple of ads. Usually there's a champion here, sometimes not, but I decided to throw my grenade and then pull back so I can at least clear down a couple of ads. So it looks like I got 2 Cabals and 1 Scion. It's okay. So I did pop the Healing Rift, and I am going to take my time dealing with the Scions since they're the most biggest threat, because they always try their best to snipe me from far distance, and then if I get close to them, they try to shoot their void attack or they just melee me. But mainly you want to take down the Scions as much as you can if you see them. If you see them, right, they sometimes hide away, and then deal with the barrier champion, and hopefully you can make fireworks just to clear out all the ads. Once everything was okay, right, I decided to scout around, see if I missed something. I saw this unstoppable champion. He was just standing there backing away because he already knows all those ads are going to be taken down. I mean, very smart of him, right? He just didn't want to approach and be aggressive. He just wanted to stand there and just give up. Now, I was pulling back a bit. I thought he was going to chase me, but he just gave up. I give up, Blitz. Just get this run done. I decided to not be scared, you know. But then now he was running towards me. I was like, oh my goodness. I thought he was just going to stand there and do nothing. Right? So I did pull back a bit. I wanted to stagger him again. And then he hop, dodge. But I got a little impatient and I just used my finisher. And yes, I am going to shoot the backpacks. You never know, right? They can always one-shot you if you're too close. Or unexpected ads start to shoot, they shoot the backpack and you're close to it and then you go back to orbit. So there is this other barrier champion, a couple of Cabals up ahead. I decided to mainly stagger the champion so it can make some fireworks dealing with the ads. Once everything is clear out, 100, well, I'll say 90%. I think there was a couple of 2 of the ads I did not take down, or 1. So I did spam the machine gun, and then I'm gonna pick up the orb charge, and then hopefully we can get the next one right away. I'm gonna duck the orb or put the orb on the Pacific switch and then run back. I'm gonna be bunny hopping or Warlock dash all the way from the back left side. Now, as you guys notice, the portals will open. There will be portals where ads will spawn. Sometimes it's champions or sometimes it's just all ads. It's very RNG. It has been all the time. And mainly, I just want to take down the barrier champion. There's going to be a couple of scions, and yes, I am using my well. And of course, every time I shoot it, I get my grenade back. And I wasn't using too much, to be honest. I should have used more and spam more. I was mainly focusing on trying to use Graviton Lance, so my bad for that. So I did pop a healing rift, and I saw this scion hiding once again. And then there's still more of champions. So there's unstoppable. And then there's a barrier champion. I pulled back because the barrier champion was shooting missiles. Once again, I had to pull back a bit to the right side, throw my grenade. And hopefully this unstoppable champion can leave me alone. Sometimes the champion just moves far away from the left side and he doesn't really bother me. But in this video, he did bother me a bit. So I was being very reckless as usual. This barrier champion was not cooperating with me, and it kept moving from the left side and then coming back towards the right side. So I was trying to stagger this barrier champion, but this unstoppable from the right or moving to the left keeps bothering me and hopping and dodging. It was just a little irritating. So what I did there is I just ignore the unstoppable, and then the barrier champion was hopping away, but before it could hide and regain its health, I threw a grenade and he was taken down. Now, once I dealt with that, the unstoppable champion still alive. I just wish it was just standing there from the beginning instead of harassing me with the barrier champion, but it's okay. Now, I always try my best not to pick up the orb. If you pick up the orb, then you're gonna spawn a barrier champion. Right? I don't want to spawn the barrier champion yet, because once you kill the unstoppable champion, then you're gonna have another wave of ads. And yes, I did mess up my grenade, so I do apologize for that. I think I did it once again, twice or 3 more times when I was throwing my grenade. This spot isn't really the best. I would prefer to go up the head, but I was just being very cautious and I didn't want to mess up. So just make sure you clear ads, and of course, yes, that corner wall keeps ruining my grenade spam. And then we got all these cabals trying to one-shot me, but it's not gonna work, you know? So make sure you just abuse the power of fusion rifle. Abuse it as much as I can, and then of course spam the machine gun, which I should have done that. As I said before, I wanted to mainly focus on the Graviton Lance. Now there's going to be 2 barrier champions. Yes, 2 barrier champions. Wonderful. And it's always the first champion that I always have trouble with, and it's the machine gun. The machine gun barrier champion always melts me or always messes with me. So you must be very careful with this guy. Always melt him. Use your heavy. I wouldn't really mess around with him. I don't trust him. He always sends me back to orbit if I mess around or do tests or anything. Just use your machine gun or Leviathan's Breath, any strong exotic. Take him down, and then once you do, everything else will be very relaxing. won't be too stressful, because now you get to deal with a barrier champion that only shoots arc. Only arc, no machine guns. No machine guns, no heart apparent spam. So I did pull back because I thought that guy up there, that Cabal, was going to chase me. Sometimes they get aggressive and then they go and chase you and try their best to one-shot you or two-shot you. So I was just being very careful as always, and yes, I did pull back because one of them tried to throw a grenade at my well, on my healing rift, but I did go to the other side. I tried to see if I can take down this specific ad, this Cabal, but then there was this other one that was shooting and getting in the way, and then the barrier champion was trying his best to shoot arc. I was trying to see if I could stagger the barrier champion from this specific angle, since it seems to be staying on that specific spot, so I might as well take advantage of it. So once I did trap the barrier champion, I decided to go ahead and do DPS. DPS as much as I can, try to use the machine gun as much as I can. I do have shoot to loot for the stasis scout rifle, so you can use as much heavy as you want. I took down the barrier champion and then scout a little bit to see if I'm missing any ads, and there was a couple of two of them which I do need to take down so I can get the last orb. So for these guys, I always just use heavy. I don't really bother myself using primary weapons with these guys because they can always one-shot or two-shot you depending on your resilience and your mods. So I don't trust them, and I would just spam heavy. Now I am going to pick up this orb right up ahead. Once I do pick up the orb, and yes, I am abusing shoot to loot, I'm going to pick up the orb, and then the barrier champion with the machine gun will spawn. I did drop the orb, as you guys notice. You use the Graviton Lance to do DPS at the chat. Barrier champion, you can't do that in the game. How is that even possible? How? Why and wow? That's cheating. Barrier champion, you're cheating. He just teleported. The barrier champion just teleported in front of me. You know how scary is that? Can you imagine if he was using his machine gun and then he teleports and uses machine gun again? That would have literally sent me back to orbit. That is absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand how it could happen. I'm trying to process in my mind at the moment of what just happened, and I can't really explain what the bungee happened. All I can say is bungee bugs. I got bungee bugs, and you know, I got extremely lucky. I got extremely lucky there because the barrier champion didn't spam his machine gun while he bungee bug teleported in front of me. So yeah, there are bugs in this Nightfall. A lot, so be very cautious. So I did spam heavy and then took down all these ads in the Minotaur. So we're actually going to go to the boss fight. So as you guys notice, yes, I will do mini time skip of just me doing DPS of the boss. And then there will be a set of ads during the boss phase. So as you guys notice, usually just go in the cave and then just make your way to the boss room. Now on the last cave, the last entrance, once you go down this specific area, the quiet area, I guess I could call that, there's going to be a couple of frantics which you must take down and spam your heavy. Spam your heavy as much as you can. If you do have heavy, you can use it. If you have your heavy, just use it. Just be very careful with these goblins because they melt. So now we're actually gonna go to the boss fight, and this is gonna be extremely fun, well, for you guys. So let me just be super honest, but first things first, you must capture the plate. Get on the plate as fast as you can so you can claim the plate, and then the boss will floatly jump down to the floor, and then he's gonna start shooting solar. Now I try to spam the machine gun as much as I can, and then back away once I do get the plate. Now I am going to be using my well and abuse it, so I will be trying my best to shoot a couple of ads and then just throwing my nade. Now what I should have done over here is, instead of using Graviton Lance, I should have just used my Scout. Graviton Lance, the shooting's a bit slow, so I wasn't getting my grenades pretty fast. Then the later half of the Nightfall, I realized I should have just used my Scout. But you know, mistakes happen, nobody's perfect. I just thought it'd be fun to use Graviton Lance, and then for this boss to behave. So as you guys notice, the boss will shoot this void fire that can melt you. Now depending how much DPS you have for the boss, there will be many waves of ads. Now I'm trying to remember how many waves of ads this boss had. I'm gonna say around 10. The boss has around 10 waves of ads, and does get a little bit more aggressive for the last 3 waves of ads, or 4, I don't remember. But that's when things get a little bit more aggressive, because you're gonna have these Cabal with the shields, and then the Void Cabals, which they can shoot fire. So if you guys notice, you can stand right in this specific spot and the boss won't even touch you from the void attacks. Now I did do enough damage, and if you guys notice, there's gonna be waves of ads. Now I was being careless as always, and yes, the plates, you have to jump at the plate. The one thing I don't like about is you can get stuck in a plate. You have to jump off the plate. If you don't, you'll get stuck. And it's super annoying, especially when Cabals and the ads are shooting you, and then you're trying to get out of the plate, but you gotta jump, or you're just gonna run around in circles, and then leads to back to orbit. Just be very careful of stepping on the plates, because you need to jump out of the plates or you're gonna get stuck. So I'm not gonna be doing DPS at the boss until he spawn ads, so I'm gonna do a mini time skip. So I did enough DPS at the boss, and now there's gonna be the next wave of ads. So as I said before, depending how much DPS you do at the boss, there's gonna be more waves of ads. And as I said before, once again, I don't remember how many waves of ads is it. I'm just gonna say around 10. So make sure you use your well, take advantage of it. And if you do run out of well, then you can just pop your healing thrift. And if it's just too many ads, just pull back a bit. So as you notice, I am just spamming fusion grenades. Ads were getting out of control, so I decided to just pull back. Just take a look how many ads I did not take down, throw, and spam fusion grenades. And then just do DPS at the boss. Now if you do see a lot of bricks, you can use your machine gun to do DPS at the boss. I would recommend you save your heavy for capturing the 3 plates, because that's what's going to be really tough for this Nightfall. So I'm going to do DPS at the boss again, so I'm going to do another mini time skip until waves of ads spawn. Alright, so now we're going to have the next wave of ads. I didn't have my well, unfortunately, so plan B was to hang around in this specific spot, but they are going to be throwing a lot of grenades, so you must be very careful with them. Just spam your machine gun if you do have enough heavy. And yes, there is a lot of teleportation. As you notice, that Cabal was doing his fighter stance and trying to throw a grenade, and he just automatically just teleport nearly in front of me. Yeah, I love bungee bugs. It's so fun for you guys, but not for me. I am suffering right now from bungee bugs every time I do any solo Nightfall. Master, Grandmaster, any of them. So as I said before, if you do have enough of the heavy, make sure you spam it. And if you see heavy bricks, abuse the shoot to loot, which I did in this video. And that's one thing I like about shoot to loot, especially on Warlock and Titan. When you don't have the power and visibility for Hunter, you can just go and just get the heavy. Instead of baiting the boss from the far left or from the far right, hoping the boss won't stomp you. With shoot to loot, you don't need to put that much effort. You can just go and grab the ammo by just shooting it with your weapon that has shoot to loot. Alright, so I'm gonna do another time skip because it's just basically me doing DPS of the boss until the next wave of ads spawn. And yes, the boss's health, Kargen, his health is very, very tanky. Alright, so this is gonna be the last wave of ads before we go to the plate room. So try your best to clear down as much ads as you can. If you do have enough heavy, use it. Remember when I said that I kind of messed up the plates? Well, yeah, I did mess up the plates in this footage. And I did fix it, but it was very suffering. You know, I didn't have fun fixing my mistakes. You know, I thought maybe capturing the middle plate would be a good idea, but I should have followed my guts and say right plate. And I will tell everyone that it depends of your playstyle, builds, if you do want to go for the middle plate or the right plate. For me, I like to go for the right plate. I don't really like the middle plate on first go. I prefer to do that for the second attempt of, you know, capturing all 3 plates. I like going for right, middle, and left. That's me, by the way. A lot of players will go for middle, right, and left, or left, middle, and right. So I am gonna do DPS of the boss, and then he will be floating in the air. And then I will have to be capturing the 3 plates. And capturing the 3 plates is very... it can be pretty bad, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Now, there is a trick of capturing the plates, so mainly you quickly want to capture the plate, and I should have got the right plate. You want to try your best, and of course you can use your well. I didn't use my well in this footage. I thought I was confident enough to clear down the ads and then just capture the plate in one go. So mainly you do want to clear down all these ads and then capture the plate. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for me because, well, one, my machine gun, that one I have is horrible. Let's be 100% honest. This machine gun is not that good compared to the raid machine gun, right? This one's not that good, and what I should have done over here is I should have went for the right plate and then went to the middle plate after that. Because I messed up my plate, my bad for that. Now I had to deal with these ads that chase me and then the dogs. Once I clear them down, then I can go capture the plate again, just because I made that silly mistake. You know, and yes, there are dogs in the background and our neighbors. And it's funny because I am talking about dogs And then now you guys can hear dogs. I hope you guys don't hear it, because that would be extremely embarrassing. You know, especially when it's 12 o'clock, midnight, you know. So make sure you clear out all the cabals that chase you, the slicers, I like to call them that, and then the war beasts, or I like to call them the dogs. Just make sure you clear them down, ignore the cabals that do shoot fire at you, and then just scout. And now I'm going to be baiting all these cabals. Now I was just trying to grab a couple of heavy. Now I was just looking of, okay, so which plate should I capture so I won't make a mistake. So I was baiting them, and then I decided to go to the middle and try to capture it again. So this time I'm gonna capture the plate, and this time nothing bad will go wrong, because I am gonna use my well, even though I should have used my well before, but I hesitated. I didn't think I would need it, but looks like you do for the middle plate. So now I'm gonna be spamming fusion grenades. I capture the plate, and now I'm just gonna be clearing out a couple of ads, trying best not to kill and take down the cabal. And then I'm gonna pull back a bit, and then just scatter around, see how many ads I'm missing, and of course abuse the beautiful Warlock dash. I was just looking from the right side, see how many ads I need to clear down. Look like those cabals are chasing me, they're still alive, so I just hide over here, make sure I clear them down, and be aware of my surroundings from the grenades. So I was seeing all these cabals that were following me. I didn't really care about them too much, mainly of them just throwing grenades at me. So once everything goes well, hopefully, because this is extremely frustrating for me, but not for you guys. This is quite fun for you, but you guys eating popcorn while watching this video. You know, this is extremely fun, but not for me. So I am abusing shoot to loot. I will be going from the far right side. I was at the same time scouting just to see which plates I'm going to be capturing next. And it looked like I'm going to capture from the far right side. Well, left side. So I did bait the cabals to move from the right, so I can go from the left side. It seemed to be working, the method, so I just decided to just capture the plate. And of course, use Healing Drift, because one of the cabals decided to throw a grenade at me, and just abuse heavy as much as I can. So hopefully I'll be capturing the plate, nothing bad will happen, you know, like what happened previously of capturing the middle plate first. So many regrets. Why did I capture the middle plate? I should have went for the right side. The right, why the middle? Once I captured the left plate, I decided to just take down all these cabals. I was scouting if there's any dogs, but none, just these guys. So it wasn't too bad, you know. Because I remember old seasons ago, there used to be always dogs. Every time you capture a plate, there was always a dog spawn all the time. And then for this season, they made it a bit easier than before. The only bad thing is you can get stuck on the plates if you don't jump off. That's the only bad thing, or the bad change they did for this season and of course last year. So I'm making sure I'm clearing out all these cabals and then just get rid of them because they're chasing me. Once I clear them down and not touch the cabals from the far middle, then I'm going to be capturing the last plate. So once again, I am just looking, scouting, and being very careful because that grenade almost got me. So I wanted to bait the cabals to move from the left side so I can go to the right side plate. So my plan worked, so I just quickly went to the right plate, even though I could have Warlock dash. I don't know why didn't I do that. So if you guys notice, I did pull back because I noticed I didn't have enough heavy. So because I didn't have enough heavy, I quickly used shoot to loot and then try again. So I baited the Cabals to move from the left side so I can go to the right side. I'm going to be capturing the plate. Hopefully nothing bad will happen, no bugs. And I'm going to be abusing the well. So I am clearing out as much as I can, and then I'm going to try my best to capture the plate. So once you do clear down the Cabals, then there will be a couple of dogs that will spawn. So I am trying my best to clear as much as I can, and then just stay in the well as much as I can. So I can at least clear a couple of ads. So the well was about to run out, so I pull back, scout a little bit just to see what's going on, anything I can do so I can deal with the boss. There were just a lot of ads that I needed to control, and if you guys notice, they were spamming a lot of grenades, which was extremely frustrating. So mainly for this phase, you do want to hop around on the hiding spots. So if you guys notice, I always hide in this specific area, the middle, and then the far right. Now there is another method, another hiding spot from the far right. I don't really like going there, especially on Warlock or Titan, because sometimes I can be careless and then just slowly float to my death, since I can't do the double jump that hunters can do if they're about to fall down to the death pit. So once I do clear down the ads, now we just do DPS at the boss. And then it's just gonna be the same thing from the very beginning. Yes, I'm not even joking. It's just more ads, more aggressive ads, void Cabals, and you just have to do DPS, and then there'll be just mini waves of ads. I would say around 5. Once ads do spawn, I did spam the fusion grenade, so try your best to clear down as much ads as you can. So if you guys notice, they do hop around, they throw grenades, they shoot arc. If grenades are in a healing rift, just pull back and then come back to the healing rift. Now I did have my well, so I decided to just go and try my best to abuse the fusion grenade. And of course abuse the machine gun, but I was low on ammo, so I didn't really use it too much until I can get more heavy, which is why I got shoot to loot, and then I can abuse it. So once again, you do DPS the boss. Once you clear down all the ads, make sure you use the shoot to loot weapon if you do see heavy bricks. And so there's gonna be a next wave of ads once again. And same thing as before, you just spam your heavy to break down the void Cabal, spam fusion grenades. That's basically what you do after you capture the 3 plates. It's gonna be the same thing 5 times, around 5 times. And you just abuse Graviton Lance when you do see them hop and jump on the trapping spots. And I did pull back there because my health was on half and it didn't look too well, so make sure you jump over the void fire. And I was just scouting, seeing how many ads I missed so I can go back to DPS the boss, you know? And there was a couple of ads that were still alive, so I tried to spam machine, but then I was low on machine at the same time, so I had to switch to my primary weapon, and hopefully I can take down the remaining ads. They were being a little bit annoying because I was trying to take them down, but they kept hiding behind the walls. And then I was getting burned by them, so I had to pull back because I didn't want to go back to orbit and start all over again. So I did have well, so I decided to just use it because these guys were not cooperating with me. So I was trying to debate what to do over here because I want to throw my grenades at that Pacific Cabal that's hiding, and then at the same time do DPS at the boss because I already had my well, but I need to clear down all these ads. So once again, as always, I'm going to do DPS at the boss until another wave of ads will spawn. Once again, more waves of ads once I do enough amount of DPS at the boss or Kargen. As I said before, more waves of ads, kind of low and heavy, and I'm just spamming fusion grenades. And then I gotta pull back because I am low, I got no heavy, and it was getting out of control. I was waiting for my grenade to charge up, and then once again I'm gonna jump and then see what's going on, see if I can throw my grenades and take them down a bit or a couple of ads. Everything was okay. Still, I wish I could clear them a bit faster, but there was just so many of them. I didn't see any heavy bricks I could abuse with shoot to loot, so I had to rely on my grenades. I saw heavy bricks, I was happy, and then I can just use and spam the machine gun for the next wave. So yeah, these guys can be so annoying to gold bar Cabal, so make sure you take them down. And then once we do that, we could do DPS at the boss. So one guy was hiding, I was trying to take him down, and I noticed machine gun, you know, the range is just, it's okay. I would say it's decent, good enough. And there were still remaining of the 2 ads up ahead, so I had to clear them down and make sure I can clear them out so I can actually do DPS at the boss. So I did use my well because, well, I need to spam grenades and they were taking too long to take down. So I was just spamming Graviton Lance, throwing grenades, spamming Graviton Lance again, and then I'm gonna do DPS at the boss. So I'm gonna do another mini time skip. I think this is the second last waves of ads. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of waves of Cabals and all these mini ads. And it could be a little bit, not frustrating, but it just can be a little annoying. Because you're gonna run out of heavy very quickly. Which is why the Power Will-to-Horde will be so useful for this run, to be honest. Or if I was using a different exotic, I could just make more fireworks. But I did it in this video, and if I did, of course the run would have been 2 times faster. If you do have heavy, just use all of it on the ads because they take a while if you're just using primary weapons. So once again, we cleared out all the ads. And then we just do DPS at the boss. So another mini time skip once again. I think this is the last one. So I got fed up with the waves of ads. I mean, how many times have we cleared down the waves of ads? 10 times? Maybe 13? I got fed up. I just wanted to take down the boss. I just got really tired of the same routine over and over again. On a stasis warlock, on a hunter, back to warlock again. So I want to clear him down, forget about the ads, and then just complete this solo run. Because this boss is so tanky. He's almost like Proving Ground's boss. The health is so... it's too much health, to be honest. So I took down the boss, I took a risk. You know, thank the Traveler of the Warlock beautiful dash. It saved my life. And now I completed Insight Terminus for this season. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Seriously corrupted. Metadata says it was last accessed by an Otzot centuries ago. What is